Hello everyone and welcome back guys to a brand new video where today we're here back on Gran Turismo 7 for round 5 of the Nations Cup. Yeah, of course, accidentally missed out on last week's racing. Well, I was actually out Friday night, which meant I couldn't compete. But yeah, today they were back for one of the weirdest combos I think I've ever seen on Gran Turismo 7. Now, sometimes GT, Gran Turismo Polyphony, they've always been a team of, sometimes they'll just throw something a bit odd into the mix. And today is definitely one of those days. We've got to race the Group X cars, so basically the War Rally cars and all that, well, not War Rally, but that sort of thing, around the Alsace, I never know how to pronounce this venue, Group B test track. So it's a very, very weird combo. Lap times are going to be around 50 seconds, but you're only allowed comfort tyres. So safe to say there's going to be a lot of sliding this thing around this venue today, but going to be a very, very weird combo to try and get a grip off nonetheless. The race is 15 laps long, but I think, yeah, we're really going to have to try and concentrate here and try to get a good qualifying lap in as we graze the wall. I'm about to start off first. Yeah, I think I'll join you guys for my best qualifying lap, but of course, if you do go on to enjoy, make sure you get yourselves subscribed to the channel as well. You kind of want this thing to be quick when it's sliding. That's absolutely not the case, sadly. You've got to just kind of manhandle it around and use the curbs and try to avoid... I mean, it's not bad sliding, but it's just not always as quick. Yes, there we go. That's pole position for the moment. Times are still improving, but very, very happy with that lap time. Much quicker than I was ever able to run in practice. We're slowly getting used to this car. I mean, it gives me real throwbacks to my old rallycross days, back on Dirt 4 and Dirt Rally. They were some fun times back in the day. But yeah, just trying to learn sort of how to slide a car, how to hold the angle, and also, of course, how to get the four-wheel drive system to work in your favour. That is not one of those moments, as I'm hoping no one else improves, but even starting from pole, I mean, there's a big chance we'll get murdered at T1. You know what? I reckon if I win this race tonight, they can keep that god-awful trophy, Gran Turismo. But ready then for this round 5 of the season here. Most people, if they're sensible, are in the Subaru, but there is a little bit of surprise further down the order. But yeah, somehow we find ourselves on the pole position here. 15 laps ahead of us, though. This is probably going to be carnage, if I'm right in thinking there. But there we are, on the pole, 50.1, just over a tenth clear of P2 there. P3, the Frenchman, just another half a tenth back there, very, very close up towards the front there, and 13 thousandths there, 4th place. Yeah, so top 4 separated by 0.2 of a second. The German in 5th, ahead of a fellow Brit there. Nice Subaru WRT livery there. 7th goes to the Spaniard, and then P8 there, the first different car, the Mustang, only 3/4 of a second off the pace there. Another Subaru in at P9, this time very odd livery, and then a Ford Focus rounding out the top 10. I was amazed to find out this was a GR.B car in 11th there, and Nixia Toyota in 12th. Another Subaru German in P13, and then 14th, yet another one, the Belgian this time round. They're just 1 second off the pace. Focus on the back row, and he is joined by yet another Subaru. But let's get into this then. 15 laps ahead of us tonight. Things are about to get interesting. Let's make sure I've got no traction control on. Going to immediately short shift up into second gear there, try and get a bit of a better launch as we head down towards turn 1, and that was definitely the thing to do, as we're going to cover that inside, into the first corner there, but just run a little bit wide and try. It's the guy on our inside there, going to try and get the run off the corner there. That's the Frenchman who set the pace very early on in qualifying, so I reckon he's going to be quick in this race there, as we just will run a little bit wide at the top of the hill. Just about can close in on the apex. This corner, one of the most difficult ones on the lap. You have to take it flat out there, and it looks like the Frenchman behind us has not managed that, because suddenly we've got a 1 second lead as we head in towards the final couple of turns of lap 1 here. I've got no idea whether you have to pit in this race, but you'd hope if you do, it's not going to take much time at all there. It's trying to be smooth on the tyres is going to be key. But look at that then, the end of lap 1. It's only a 50-second lap round here, and we've got a 2-second lead at the front of the field there. So the dream start to this race is just blipping the downshift a little bit too aggressively there. Back down in through turn 1. But yeah, 2.5 second lead then. The gap's just going up everywhere at the moment. Let's just see if we can try and build up some momentum early on. I was never expecting this to be the longest video in the world, but yeah, really now the key is don't do anything stupid and just try to keep the pace nice and consistent there. It is just that corner. That is the one sketchy corner on this lap, as looked like the Frenchman's done a better job this time. I reckon he's got slightly more raw pace than me, just couldn't quite get the lap hooked up in qualifying. But I mean, like I said, if we got more consistency, that can be the key, especially in a car like this where you are just drifting it around absolutely everywhere in a session. You know, just being able to hit those lap times more consistently. Let's look at that, 50.8 immediately early on the board as we tip it back down through turn 1. Really the best line through there is actually to get the car wedged over the curb, but still that gap holding at about 2.5 seconds there as we head up the hill and going purple each time through. If we can try and hang on to fastest lap as well, I'd love to try and get a perfect race here. Pole, fastest lap and race victory with the Grand Chelem, which would probably do my driver rating some good as well. But leading the way early on, now we've just got to try and hold on to this gap. Oh, just missed out on yet another fastest lap there, but the gap opening up to 4 seconds at the moment. And I'll have to be honest, I'm not really sure how, because we're not hitting any exceptional laps. I mean, we're consistent down in the mid-50s. But yeah, Frenchman behind, he's gonna build up a little bit of a buffer to the cars behind him. So it's not like he's under pressure still or having to defend, but he just hasn't got the pace early on here, and I'm loving this. Like I said, the only real question I have... Oh, hold on. Foot in, keep it going. That's going to cost us a little bit of time. They're the first scary moment of the race. But like I was trying to say, though, the only real question I have is whether we do have to pit here. I'm not convinced we do, but it wouldn't surprise me otherwise. If we start seeing other cars box, then maybe we'll have to consider it. I really should start checking that as well before I jump into races. But yeah, pretty much now at the halfway stage. Still, we've got a 2.5 second gap. Almost got the car latched over the inside curb, but not quite. There we go, that's a new personal best for the day. You've got to really try and work out how to shut the car over that first curb there and still get it wedged on the inside of the second. And now I'm learning, you know, second gear is a bit more usable around some parts of this lap, but we're really getting to a groove now. And hopefully, yeah, just gonna, I mean, that gap's really back up to where it was just a couple of laps ago. We seem to have a lot more consistency early on. Well, 5 laps to go then. The gap's still holding at around that 4 to 5 second mark. Starting to allow a few mistakes to creep in here and there, as that's what I'm talking about. But yeah, I mean, I think it's just a battle of who can make less errors at the moment. There is really struggling to get the car, as obviously the track falls away from you. Try and get the car back over to the right hand side there. You can just see it's costing us a fair amount of time, but I think, yeah, everyone making small slip-ups now. Like I said, the only real worry I have still is whether you need to pit. Like I said, I really should start checking this before jumping into races. I haven't seen anyone else box, but obviously I don't know how much time it will cost, and then again, I'd look like a right mug if I pit and no one else does, and I end up finishing sort of mid-table here. I think we just got to stay out and hope everyone follows me And if we do get a penalty, everyone else does as well. It's an optimistic way of thinking about it, but it's the way we're going to have to be here. It's all purple through the first sector. Could this be on for a new fastest? Let's tip it in over the top of the brow. Come on, get the nose through. Thank you. So we'll try and put the power down on the exit. Let's just wait and see then. 2/10 down at the moment. I mean, this final corner is all about just trying to brake as little as possible. They're allowing the front end sort of wash wide and then dig back in as the camber comes back down towards you there. But through the final corner we go. Smoothest run back up towards the line. They're only missed out by another 10th. I'm going to try and chase one more fastest lap here. And flipping the throttle down into second gear there is not going to do it. Bouncing off the red line. You just get no braking power when you do that, as there is still a very big battle going on for P2. Right, into the final 2 laps then. Gap up now to 7 seconds here. I mean, we're not even setting good times at the moment. It's just the 2 behind us that are locked into battle. And really, yeah, this one has been an absolute walk in the park today, as long as I don't do anything stupid in these final couple of laps. Our apologies, it hasn't been the most exciting race, but we desperately needed a race like this, to be honest, on Gran Turismo 7, because so far, most of the Nations Cup events we've done have not been happy endings, to be honest, all the Manufacturers Series for that matter. A couple of decent races in the Toyota, or I should say the first race in the Toyota was pretty good, and then since then it's not been the highest of highs. But yeah, I mean, unfortunately I'm not going to be able to do round 3 of the Toyota Cup because we'll be at the British Grand Prix next weekend, so we'll have to come back for round 4 in a few weeks there. But it looks like the Frenchman and our fellow Brit are trading P2 there, as I noticed the wall actually about to start the last lap of this race. And again, really want to try and launch the car over that first curb there and straight line your way into the second. Oh, I can't get the power down. Squeeze that throttle as we head out of turn 1 there. You just feel the turbo try and spool up as no one else is pitting then, so I guess that's a good sign. Yeah, you really want to try and slide the car up towards this next corner there. I mean, it's a rally car. You can rub it against the walls. It's designed to take some knocks as well there as we head out down this back straightaway then. I mean, you spend a lot of this straight just trying to get yourself balanced off the corner. It's not really, feels like a straight to be honest for the most part, but through the final couple of corners then, here in Alsace, or Alsace, I don't know. At the final turn we go. It's going to be the dub. And we're going to go for a celebratory handbrake turn across the line there. That's what we like to see. Luckily no penalty as well there, and that's going to be a good sort of 7-8 second race victory when all is said and done there. What's going to be the gap between the 2 behind there? 8.2 and 8.3, so only a 10th and a half covering the Frenchman and our fellow Brit there. P4 goes to the Spaniard. It looks like it's going to be another Brit in at P5 there, just 9/10 clear of the German, another 9/10 clear of a Brit, who's, yeah, 1.5 seconds clear of the German in P8 there. The Ford Focus in at P9 ahead of yet 2 more Subarus. Looks like, yeah, all the other cars right towards the rear of the field there. That Peugeot definitely did not have a fun time of it when all is said and done today. But thank you all so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure to leave a like and get yourself subscribed. And yeah, we will return very, very soon then with more Gran Turismo 7.